Hello, and welcome back to the Top 100 Horror Movies review series, going based off of the Top 100 Horror Movies as chosen by Fangoria readers. I have the scratch-off poster behind me. I'm not sponsored by Fangoria, I just think it's a cool poster, and if you like horror movies or you want to get into horror movies, or maybe if you have a friend that likes horror movies, or a friend that wants to get into horror movies, I suppose, this has a lot of good movies on it, and I highly recommend it. So today's movie is An American Werewolf in London from 1981. It is number 16 on the list. So the very basic spoiler-free story is after a vicious animal attack, an American in London starts seeing strange visions. So yeah, that was the basic spoiler-free story. I will be getting into spoilers, so consider this your spoiler warning. Cool. So the non-spoiler-free story I won't get super into because I do really enjoy this movie, and I think it would be better for viewers if you watched it for yourselves. Although I did not put this as a recommendation for a first horror movie, so only watch it if you like horror movies, or if you're like, if you don't particularly care about some content, some explicit content. But yeah, the story is two Americans, two friends, go to England on their way to Rome. And while in England, they get attacked by a wolf, and one of them gets mauled to death, and then the other one gets bitten. And so, the one who survives gets taken to a hospital, and the police come by, and they're like, hey, so about that madman that attacked you, and he's like, no, wait, it wasn't a madman, it was like a freaking wolf. And then, throughout the movie, his friend is coming back from the dead, his friend's in limbo, and he's like, hey, so that was a werewolf, and it's been 3 weeks since the attack, and so the next full moon is coming up here pretty soon, and you're gonna transform into a werewolf because it bit you. And so I'm in limbo because I was attacked and killed by the werewolf that attacked both of us. And so I'm in limbo, and I'm cursed to walk the earth as the living dead. And the only way that I can be put to rest is if the werewolf bloodline is ended. So you need to kill yourself. And so the American who's alive is like, what? No. Nuh-uh. I don't want to do that. I think I'm going crazy. And so he has this little fling with the nurse. And so he stays at her house. And then the full moon rises. He transforms. It's a very cool scene. And he attacks and kills 6 people. And then the next day he's like, oh no, I killed 6 people, because like he heard on the radio like 6 people are dead, and he didn't remember anything from last night. He just woke up in the zoo. And so he's like, oh no, I killed 6 people. I need to turn myself into the police so that like more people are safe, because it's another full moon tonight, because like full moons last more than one night. And then the doctor who's looking after him is like, no, what? No, if you are a werewolf, then you need to like be safe with me, you know? And like don't go to the police, there's no need for that. And then he just runs away, and then a hallucination of his friend guides him into a movie theater, and they're talking, and the guy's like, okay, so I'd like you to meet this feller right here. He's also dead, you just killed him. And then these other 5 people, you also just killed them. And so they're also walking around limbo, so you should kill yourself. And the guy's still like, well, now that I know it has an effect, I probably should. And then, before he gets the chance to, he transforms into a werewolf in the movie theater and kills more people. Then runs into the streets of London, and then the police track him down, and the nurse is like, no, I love you. And then he's a werewolf, of course, so he doesn't freaking care. And so he lunges at her, and the police shoot him, and he's dead, and the movie's over. So, yes, I did just summarize the entire story, but I also do think you should watch it, because there was a lot that I left out. I definitely did not go in depth as most of my videos, hence why this video is so much shorter. So I highly recommend you watch it. It's very good. The effects were amazing, direction was amazing, acting was amazing, the writing was amazing, both dialogue and story. There was nothing bad about this movie. It was so good. So, content warnings. There's quite a bit of language. Just in, like, some, like, sections, though. So, I counted 5 F words. There may be more. I'm not entirely sure. There is full male nudity, brief until about halfway through the movie. There are a few scenes of sex, both semi-explicit and fully explicit. And there's a hard-to-see-ish pinup poster. So for violence and gore, so my editor has been putting in a gore line in my videos, or in our videos, I suppose. So where Halloween's on the low end and Evil Dead is on the high end. So I would put this movie at about a 90%. It is very gory, but not like constant gore, like Evil Dead, or I'm considering moving Hellraiser down because from what I remember it wasn't constant gore, but I did definitely feel like it was 100% in the moment. But I would definitely not say this is 100%. So I'd say this is about 90%. So yes, a lot of gore, yes, pretty often, but not like constant in your face the whole time. Yeah. And then as far as like trigger warnings and stuff, there is mention of self-harm, like I mentioned in the story. So if you've struggled with that in the past and may not want to see things like that, then it's entirely understandable. Like I mentioned, this would not make a good first horror movie if you haven't seen horror movies before, but if you're not super sensitive to like explicit scenes or like a bunch of gore, I highly recommend it. It's very fun. It's a horror comedy, so it does have some very funny scenes. I have mentioned in my previous videos, for all that apply, there's this metal band that I really enjoy called Ice Nine Kills, which make metal music and some other music, like soft rock sometimes, off of mainly horror movies. They have branched out into just more general movies, like Batman and the Matrix, but mostly horror movies. And they have a song for this movie called Love Bites, featuring Chelsea Talmadge. It's one of their not metal songs. It's very soft, but not like pop. I would say it's like a soft rock. So yeah, I highly recommend you check them out if you like that style of music. But yeah. So I gave this movie a 10 out of 10. Like I said, there's nothing bad about it. Like I just really genuinely enjoyed it. And I put it at number 3 on my personal rankings. There are the poster rankings, the like audience rankings, I suppose. 1 through 100. But I'm also doing my own personal rankings of just like how much I would like to rewatch them overall. So I put this at number 3, so that is below The Shining, but above Nightmare on Elm Street. So yes, that list will be in the description. But yeah, that's about it for the review portion of the video. I will now do the scratch off, but that is all for me. So yeah, see you in the next one. Okay, so today we are scratching off An American Werewolf in London, number 16. Real quick, I'll go through all the rest of them. So we have Halloween 1978, The Thing 1982, Exorcist 1973, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974, Nightmare on Elm Street 1984, Alien 1979, Shining 1980, Scream 1996, Night of the Living Dead 1968, Jaws 1975, Evil Dead 1981, Psycho 1960, Hereditary 2018, Hellraiser 1987, Suspiria 1977, and now we have An American Werewolf in London from 1981. So we have the title and the main character, David. So let's begin. So yes, so now we still have the title, and David, main character, but now we have the outline of the werewolf, inside of David. So yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, that is the end of the video. Next video will be Rosemary's Baby, but yeah, thanks for watching.